If you define God as the unknown cause of the universe, then of course God exists. But that doesn't get us any closer to understanding reality. That's simply defining God into existence. It's also called the God of the gaps, where you just insert God to fill a gap in knowledge. And if you define God as that being that you read about in the Bible or the Quran or some other book that interacts with certain humans and reveals the future and performs miracles, we can actually demonstrate that that God is a creation of man. Humans write books. Humans create stories about their mythological, imaginary gods. If that God was real, we would be able to demonstrate that that God was real by certain people who understood who that God was being able to perform miracles or other supernatural events. And if you define God as the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, all good God, logic itself disproves that God. It is logically impossible for that God to exist in a world that is so full of evil and suffering. So what is the best answer for the origin of life? We have really good examples we can use. If you look at a tree, it is reasonable, rational, and accurate to assume that that tree was once a seed. And before it was a seed, it was something that was completely unrecognizable as the origin of a tree. Human life is exactly the same way. We know that human life originates as a sperm cell and an egg cell. But the sperm cell and egg cell don't magically appear. They are created within the bodies of other humans. And they originated as things that were completely unrecognizable as a future human. So that gives you two perfect examples of the origin of life that demonstrates that life has unrecognizable origins. And they prove that life does not originate through magic or divine intervention, but through the transformation of matter from one form into another. And it is logical to apply that same reasoning to the universe itself, that the universe at one time, a long time ago, had unrecognizable origins. You would not be able to look at that and say, this will become what we see today. You can't look at a sperm cell and say, I know what that human is going to look like when he grows older. You can't look at a seed and know what the tree is going to look like when it's mature. So most likely, our universe had unrecognizable origins in the same way that practically everything that we see has unrecognizable origins.